Part 11. Yes. It's part the aftermath. Okay. In this episode of Sonic Boom versus Sonic 2006, we are going to look at the aftermath of both games. Try to, compare these aftermaths, see which aftermath was actually the worst for the franchise and the widest reaching. Of course, you all know that which game I think is better and which game I think is worse. But I just want to show off some facts that will help you see things my way with that. Uh, Point goes to Sonic in this thing. As far as aftermaths go, point goes to Sonic 2006 for the worst one. But yeah, Sonic. Don't get me wrong though. Sonic Boom's aftermath is pretty rough. It's going to be pretty rough because of the because the game was rushed and not polished at all, not polished well at all. So like Big Red Button will probably not be allowed to make another Sonic game, or at least headline one. At least headline one. They most likely for the next Sonic Boom series of games, Sonic Boom universe game, series of games will probably be made by the people who made the game, the Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal, which was way better received, which definitely was very better received, and I can see why it definitely seems to have less issues, But yeah, it basically Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric will most likely end up being like Green Lantern was for the DC Cinematic Universe, a proper property that had something that had great ideas in it, but unfortunately, poor execution, many other problems that basically ruined it. And that's sad to me because I wanted to see where these things, these ideas would go. I wanted to see what would happen with these different things, but now they're gonna, it's probably gonna be somebody else doing it. So it'll be different, and that's annoying. But at least, you gotta admit that there was some really good ideas in there. But anyway. Let me see. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting that way. In my opinion, it's just so many things just went against this game. That made it not made it. What it gave it like the backlash they had. People blame. There's things that in my opinion are legitimate to blame for this game. That story is just bad. That story is just horrible. Lyric just wanting to destroy everything instead of getting revenge for someone, for people he cared about, or something, messes it up. He's like, why is he a dumb villain now? That stuff, the glitches, the fact that it was put on a system that, exclusively on a system that wars with itself, wars with its company and the fans of that company, and the fans of that company. Just so many things about it. What was that? I'm like, the issue is, it's not even like there was a Wii U version, that doesn't work. It's exclusively put on the Wii, on the Wii U. Why was that? Was this a Bayonetta 2 thing? Was this like, hey, where it was like, where's it like, okay, Sonic, Bigger Button, with all the drama behind the scenes was so desperate for funding that they're like, hey, you know what, we need funding. We'll take it from anybody. And Nintendo was so desperate to get games on Wii U because a lot of developers were avoiding that thing like the plague because of the screen controller. Basically, we're like, hey, if you make this an exclusive, we'll give you money so you can get that game published. It's like okay, so this is what we get. And I'm like, it was so rushed that they couldn't even get things to work right on the Wii U or whatever. It was just a horrible mismatch, just all around. Just having that game on there. If that game was on the CryEngine, it turns out not only was this game not it was not able to deal with the Wii U hardware, and this game didn't work right. The Wii U software in this game didn't work right. You had the CryEngine. Doesn't work well with Wii U. Wii U's engine, Wii U software. I'm like, why did this happen? That's what I'm like. Why did this happen? Why did they have to put it on the Wii U? I don't know if that was the case. If it was Bayonetta 2 thing, but unlike Bayonetta 2, which actually looks good, this one doesn't, But whatever the case, it was terrible. That was just really crazy stuff. You know. Hopefully, if Bigger Button stays in business, they'll be able to, make a game that, a game, take their time and make a game. And they're able to make another game to basically show off that what they can really actually do. Because it's probably because it won't be a Sonic game, it will have plenty of time to develop and actually get a fair shake when it comes to its ratings. To me, that isn't a huge issue with me with this game. People are hating on this game for legitimate reasons. They're also hating on it for legitimate reasons, like the way the characters look, or sound, or the music, or something like that. But it's, though, yeah, because it's basically Sonic games have a standard to them. A lot of fans have a Sonic game standard, and if the game doesn't reach that standard, it's considered a bad game. It's considered a bad game, even though it's not that bad, but still, it was definitely, Sonic Boom did not reach that standard for them at all, so, much at all, so, yeah, it's a bad game. But, yeah, there were definitely legitimate problems with that game. But Sonic 06 wins the worst aftermath of all because its aftermath has reverberated through every single Sonic game after Sonic 06. That came after it. Just look at Sonic Unleashed, the next console Sonic game for Sonic, the next console Sonic game. In that game, you do not have an opening ceremony, Olympic opening ceremony. In that game, you do not have a human princess that needs saving. You have Sonic fighting Dr. Eggman in space. Dr. Eggman's cartoony again. And then there's like the incredible intelligence of how this could happen. Sonic appears on an egg carrier spaceship or something, and he's like, okay, how do you get there? Must have gone through another level that led to the space station or something. That's basically how it probably went. Then you see when Dr. Eggman captures him with the Egg Dragoon, he gets he basically turns into Supersonic. You clearly see he has the 7 Chaos Emeralds. So he obviously went through other levels to get those Chaos Emeralds, and to have them so he can turn into Supersonic right then. So it's like, wow, crazy stuff like that. Then of course later you see he turns into a werehog, and then you meet Chip, and things, and you have to go through a town hub world again. But it's not nearly as bad. One of the first things that happens after you meet Chip, you see the werehog and meet Chip, and the Sonic turns back to his normal self. And you see this guy go so fast, through Apotos, the first level, that he can actually warp time and warp space around, and the music around him. The dude, basically, the dude can boost, quick step, go 2D, go through loop de loops, all kinds of different things that he used to do, that he didn't, do in Sonic 2006. It just goes all over the place. Then you got the town missions in town, and I don't think there might be missions, but it's not nearly as many or as optional or as mandatory as Sonic Boom, Sonic 2006's were. You basically do help people with stuff, but it's not the same at all. It's not really as involved at all. So, and even crazier in Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, or is it Wii U? I don't know. But whatever it was, Sonic for the Wii or Wii U, you basically, well, maybe the Wii U, who knows? You basically have a screen that you point and click. You don't have a town at all. You have the picture of a town with little places that you go to, you click on to hear people say stuff, So the Xbox 360 version, you actually have a town you run through. I prefer that myself because, of course, you can find things in the town. The power-ups, the upgrades are mostly things you find and you don't buy. It's like Unleashed. Yes, there were issues with Sonic Unleashed, including the fact that the levels were way too long. Because I'm sorry, Chunan could have been there was Chunan levels that could have been 3, But still, it was a far superior game than Sonic 06. But the only problem, in my opinion, with that game, the only issue with the aftermath of Sonic 06 that I didn't like much was the characters. You played as Sonic, you saw Tails, and you saw Amy. You didn't see Knuckles or Rouge or Shadow or Omega or any of those guys, at all. You saw Chip and the Werehog, which I think should have been a different character. And I will make a comic retconning, not retconning, but remedying that, giving ideas on how that could happen. Oh yeah, how that could happen and stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. It was just yeah, the characters were part of the issue with Sonic 2006 because of course they controlled horribly in that game. So yeah, they just decided to change them up to basically not have them be playable for a while. With Sonic Colors, which was basically Sonic Unleashed but only during the day. Only Sonic Unleashed stuff, but only during the day. Things are even crazier. At least in the console version. In the console version, Sonic you played as Sonic, you saw Tails, you hung out with the Wisps, which gave Sonic new powers. But in my opinion, those should have been the characters instead. But to each his own, I guess. I would have loved Frenzy to be Amy, or, Cube to be Biggs, Rocket to be Tails, things like that. And, Spikes could be Knuckles, things like that. That could be awesome. But yeah, well, they did what they wanted to do. So yeah, it was not my favorite. But yeah, the console version, you only played as Sonic, saw Tails, and you didn't see Knuckles or Amy or any of the others really. Uh, we saw the Orbot and Cubot hanging out. They were fun. It was nice to see them, to see them around and stuff like that. But of course I think it was the handheld version. You did see a bunch of characters, so that was at least they were around still, at least a little bit. It's Sonic Lost World. I think was it Sonic Generation? Oh, Sonic Lost World. Uh, you saw you played a Sonic. You saw Tails. You saw Amy and Knuckles. Yeah, her voice changed, but that's okay. Yes, Amy's voice had changed during that time as well. But yeah, that was just that was sad for me, but not necessarily a game breaker, a game breaking thing for me. Uh, you saw them, at least saw them, Team Sonic, and one member of Team Rose. But yeah, then of course you got introduced to the Deadly Six, which I liked seeing that there was new characters coming in, and they were kind of like the Koopalings, So then you have Eggman, you have these other creatures doing stuff, and they're different personalities and stuff, and they could, I'd love to see where that would go. Of course, they didn't really take it that far yet. I haven't really taken it many places yet, but I already made a comic about some backstory on them, so you check that out if you want. So that was really cool to see those guys. And I look forward to seeing more done with them, especially in this new game. But yeah, that was an issue. Next was what was after that? Oh yeah, Sonic Generations, came out. And that one, and all the characters came back. You didn't get to play as them. You didn't get to play as them. At least as far as I can tell. Not main games. Play as Sonic, classic Sonic too, Mono Sonic and classic Sonic. That was nice. So that was nice. And then it was saw Tails, and Knuckles, Amy, Rouge, Shadow, Silver, Silver was back. Whoa, that was a milestone. Oh, yeah. Then after that, all this cool characters, the cool stuff you can do in there. After all that came, so a few games on handhelds, and then of course Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. And you finally got to play as Sonic, the Tails, Knuckles, and Amy again. Characters were okay. At least in that game. And that was great to see. I was glad to see that they control way better. As far as I could, definitely. I'm sorry. I've seen these characters played in both Sonic Boom and Sonic 2006. They control better than Sonic Boom. People will hate on me for that, but that's fine. But it's the truth. Tails isn't falling. Isn't dying from running out of energy, flying energy. Running out of flying energy. His bombs actually hit things. So Amy's hammer hits things. Knuckles can hit things more too. Come on, definitely play better. So that's how that went. So yeah, Sonic 2006 gets the worst aftermath. Things will be interesting from now on. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. And I'll see you next time.